All right, welcome back to another World Cup check-in, everybody. And as you can see, U.S. did really play today, and they got another 3 points. It was actually quite an entertaining match, I would say. First half for goals, second half for saves. If you're one of those people who like saves, well, this game was for you. The Chilean goalkeeper was much better than the Taiwanese? No, not Thailandese. Thailandian? I don't know. Then the Thai, that's what it is, the Thai goalkeeper. She made many saves. If she hadn't made all those, I think the score would have been closer to 7-0. As it was, just 3-0, which is reputable. We kind of wanted one more just so we could tie the record for the amount of goals in the group stage, which is 17. So we're sitting at 16 right now. So 2 more against Sweden would get us through. However, since last we left off, we had, of course, I started recording, or I recorded before, Australia, Brazil, and South Africa and China, both of which I think were very important. Australia, Brazil was pretty good. It was Australia needed to win, Brazil not so much, but Australia definitely needed those 3 points since they lost their first game against Italy. However, so what happened was Brazil actually went up 2-0 in the first half, and then Australia came charging back in the second half and got 3 goals. So good on them. They got the win. Just squeaked one out there. So Australia is still in the fight, which is very much what we want, because having Australia get knocked out real soon would have been really shocking. Then South Africa versus China. China got a narrow 1-0 victory over South Africa, which means that most likely South Africa will not be able to overcome their deficit against Spain, I think is who they play next. Let me just check here. No, they play Germany. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to get out, even though Germany hasn't scored. They've only scored 2 goals this tournament. I think that their just general quality overall will get them through. Nevertheless, it's nice to see them, and China was able to get that nice victory. Then we had Japan versus Scotland. Scotland, we were hoping would be a little bit better, but I think Japan kind of woke up from whatever slump they were in, because they were much better than they were against Argentina, and they were able to put 2 goals past the Scots, and Scotland only got 1 back. So the exact same score line for Scotland, 2-0 down at halftime, and then they only got 1 back in the second half. So it's kind of a shame. Maybe they'll be able to slip in if they win against their other team, which is Argentina. If they win against Argentina, then they might be one of the 4 best third-place teams, but we shall see. I'll talk about that in just a second when we get to England, Argentina. Italy got a comfortable 5-0 win over Jamaica. Like I said at the beginning, Jamaica is the worst ranked team FIFA-wise in the tournament. So Italy getting the job done there. And they are moving on. So England, Argentina was a pretty good game in itself. It was a 1-0 victory to England. They just barely got it, got the 1 goal. Argentina has been very organized, and they still have 1 point. So when they're playing Scotland, I don't know whether or not Scotland are going to be able to get 3 points. I think Argentina might be able to sneak 1 in there, but we'll just have to see. As for the 2 games that were yesterday, we had the Netherlands and Cameroon. The Netherlands won 3-1. Cameroon put up a good fight. I think they did in their previous match as well, but the Netherlands got the job done. This time they didn't have to leave it to the end of the game to snatch a point. They were very much in control. And then we had Canada versus New Zealand, which it was kind of a struggle first off, but Canada got the job done. 2 goals scored, and none of the goal scorers so far for Canada have been Christine Sinclair. So that's going to be interesting to see whether or not, if she puts a goal in, because currently a United States player has the record for most goals ever. As for the games today, so I already talked about the U.S. versus Chile. Again, it was a 3-0 victory, which was pretty good. But the United States looked really good, especially since they put out basically their second lineup. I think there were 7 changes maybe in the lineup. The top 3, the strikers, were all switched out. We had 3 of the defenders switched out, and then I think one of the midfielders too. So yeah, 7 changes to the lineup. Yet the United States looks to be basically like a universal machine or cog or something, because everybody just slotted in real perfectly. Carly Lloyd got 2 goals. She missed a penalty, which could have gotten her a hat trick, but she is she has 3 goals, and Alex Morgan has 5, so we'll see who gets the golden boot, and whether or not Alex Morgan, I think, was going to be the starting striker, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Sweden played Thailand. This is a good gauge for how skilled Sweden is compared to the United States, for how much they beat up on Thailand. And Thailand actually got a goal this time. They got a goal in like the 91st minute or something like that, but it was really nice. If you look up the videos, I think Fox Soccer has a little bit of has clipped it, but it's really nice to see that they got a goal after losing 13-0 to the United States. They can actually score and play the game. Sweden only got 5 on them, so certainly you can see, okay, well, they improved, certainly Thailand, but the United States might definitely be, well, they are the #1 team, so every team is going to be less than them anyway. So we'll see what happens. Next up for the United States is Sweden. With those changes, the United States, I think the important thing, I think the reason for those changes that the head coach Jill Ellis made, I think she made those because she wanted to, get people time, just game time in general. So like the second string people, she wanted to give them time, and then she also just wanted to rest her first choice players, because there are it's only been 4 days or so since the other game, but if you can go in completely fresh rather than maybe at like 95% or something, you're certainly going to be a lot better off, especially since Sweden versus the United States is going to be a grudge match. The last major tournament there was the 2016 Olympics, and Sweden knocked out the United States for its worst finish ever in a tournament, which was in the quarterfinals. So certainly that one I'm hoping is not going to be a dud of a game, because the United States is one of, I think, 9 teams that are already through. Those teams that are through to the next round are England, Japan, the Netherlands, Canada, the U.S., and Sweden. That's 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think Australia is going to be considered the 9th for having 3 points. So I'm looking at the table here and all the groups. Obviously, so there's only 1 game left for every team for certain. So the most points you can get more is 3 points. So there's teams like Japan who have 4, but they're going to be, I think they got to draw, depending on goal difference. This is when goal difference comes into play, whether or not, like if Argentina beats Scotland, and then they might be able to go up in front of Japan, especially if Japan loses to, say, England. They'll determine, okay, are they going to be a second place team, or are they going to be one of the better, one of the best third place teams? So upcoming matches, we got China-Spain tomorrow, South Africa and Germany, as well as Nigeria versus France, and South Korea versus Norway. They're kind of condensing some of these days. Now there's 4 games on 2 days, I think. to mess around just to try and even up the schedule. Let's see. None of these really speak out to me in really that much, just because they're all China versus Spain. Actually, is probably going to be the best match to watch. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's going to be the best in terms of even skill levels. But Nigeria, South Africa, and South Korea are all sort of way out of their league when they're playing their teams. So that's tomorrow. The United States plays on Thursday, and again, that's at 2 against Sweden. So I will check in with you in the upcoming days, probably 2 days out or something like that. We'll see. There's a couple other good games that'll be on Tuesday and Wednesday coming up, so we'll take a look at that. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and go USA.